Hi everyone, I'm Shani Hall. I'm the General Manager for Student Nutrition Services. I just wanted to take a couple of minutes to let you know what we in Student Nutrition Services are doing to serve kids safely during COVID-19, specifically when the kids return to brick and mortar on August 31st. I've gotten a lot of questions from principals and other administrators concerned for kids' safety, and I am right there with you. Kids' safety is our #1 concern, so I just wanted to share with you the things that we are educating our managers on doing so you can feel better about ensuring that your kids have a safe experience. So the first change we're making is that everything on the serving line is going to be wrapped or packaged. So in years past, when kids would come up and if it was a traditional serving line that they're walking through, they would get a tray and they would select the items they want. That's going to be a whole different experience now. All items will be wrapped and packaged, and instead of the students self-serving onto a tray, they will point or say what they want to the assistant, who will be bagging, see the bag in the picture, who will be making a bag of their chosen items in the back that will be handed to them when they ring out at the cash register. So we're aiming for a completely touchless experience, and we are preventing kids from touching foods that other people would select. One major emphasis in our new serving line setup is teaching the students to point, not touch, as this is going to be a completely different experience for them. Things that our staff will be doing will be moving the foods to the back so that the kids can't grab them easily, and continuously educating them to communicate to our staff what items they want so we can build the bag. We know that at the beginning, there are going to be some kids that just revert to old habits, so we will be very cognizant of that and sanitizing the serving line and the tray slide if we need to, but ultimately the goal is that they would have a touchless experience. Another way that will help us with this is to have pictures of the menu items, since we won't have the food out there for students to select as it all will be wrapped and packaged. We will be delivering pictures of our menu items to all kitchens so that they can have them posted on their serving line. It also helps to create a barrier, but if they point to the items they want, it will be very easy for the assistant to build the bag in the back. This is a picture of the smaller pictures that we're providing to our schools that have the walk-up windows. So that will be a way that the student can still either tell us what they want or point to the item in the picture that they want. One challenge that we foresee, because everybody will be in masks, is some difficulty in understanding what the student wants. I think that we're going to do the best thing we can do to communicate good customer service through the mask, and we'll just try to ask the students to speak clearly and loudly so that we can understand what it is they want, because we want their experience to be as positive as possible. Milk is something that's going to be challenging a lot of schools, particularly if you have a milk box, because the milk box lends itself to a lot of touch points. So we're not going to use the milk boxes. The students must be offered a choice of milk at both breakfast and lunch. So each school will look at this differently at how they want to provide the milk. If the milk box can be safely moved, but where the cashier can utilize it and can ask the students what kind of milk they want, then that can happen. It really depends on your setup and your power. If you aren't able to use the milk box, but you have a barrel or even just a pan with ice that you can keep cold, or a cold well on the serving line, any way that we can provide students the choice of milk without them touching other milk. One requirement we have to follow under the National School Lunch Program is to offer free water to all children during lunch service. We do have a waiver for this requirement when we're doing the grab and go pickup line outside, but we don't have a waiver on the regular brick and mortar side. We know water fountains are turned off, and so our solution will be to utilize our 4-ounce cup with a lid, and we will offer water to all students this way. They don't have to take the water, but we have to offer it. We use the cup and lid during our summer feeding and our pandemic feeding, so it does stay shut, although we'll encourage kids to carry that instead of putting it in the bag. So finally, the student's gone through the line, and we'll talk a little bit about the point of service process. So the child will select all the items. Our assistants will build the bags in the back. The bag will be handed to the cashier where they're rung up. We won't be using pin pads. So at the elementary school, we can pull the classes up by class. If they come through the line by class, the student can say their name to our cashier, and we can ring the student up there and hand the bag. I know we have a picture here of a student with a tray, but as I said at the beginning, we're going to start with bags. So that gives you the most flexibility on where students can eat their lunch, and then they can bag up their trash. It'll be nice and neat for that. If we're at a school where we're at a middle or a high school where they don't come in by homeroom, let's say, then they will have to communicate their student lunch number to the cashier. And they can say this loud and clearly and put it in that way. Some schools have already gotten really creative by providing some ID cards with it on there. They can hand the card to our cashier. We are in the process of trying to acquire scanners, but like most things, we're having a hard time acquiring a whole lot of anything. So right now, we're just going to have to input what the student, when the student gives us the number. And from here, then the student can go wherever you determine that they need to eat. We are going to make sure that our line is cleaned and sanitized throughout meal service. As I said, we're aiming for a touchless experience by our students, but certainly we will be watching and cleaning and sanitizing if things are touched, and we'll be continuing to educate our kids so that they feel good about coming through our serving line and having a healthy, nutritious meal. Thank you for your time. Please reach out to me if you have any questions or concerns or ways that we in student nutrition can help you make sure that your kids have a good experience in our serving lines and at the school. Thanks so much. Have a great day.